Good morning, everyone. Hey, it's Dutch Sense here. It is 12:02 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, December 3rd, 2016. Hope you're doing good. Sorry my camera was frozen there. Apparently it froze sometime this morning. Can't do much about that. Thanks for letting me know. Got that fixed up. Hey, guys, check it out. Since yesterday, of course, the West Pacific had gone completely quiet all the way from the Aleutian Island chain down to New Zealand. And last night, a 6.0 struck in the Aleutian Island chain. Then, a 5.5 struck down here at Fiji, somewhat shallower, more shallow. Also, over here in Europe, this is really interesting, actually. Take a look at this, guys. Last night, we had those 3.8s, right, that were 4.0s, 4.1s that struck. You remember? Okay. Well, after that, another 4.1 struck. Much more rare. To the northwest of Torino, which is to be expected, northwest across Europe, we have a line showing this on our plate boundary progression map, how the pressure transfers across Europe after leaving out of Italy. Well, I think it's pretty much a given now, guys, that those 3.8s yesterday in Italy were 4s. It's that simple. It's connected by 4s all the way across. Do we really believe two 3.8s struck in the middle of all this? They were 4s to begin with. They chose to downgrade them to try and get them below 4 for some reason. But now here it is. You can't hide the next one because it struck and people felt it. And the French are a different agency, so they won't hide it as well. Getting them to collude into the downgrading of earthquakes just isn't going to happen. So, 4.1 hit in France, 4.1 hit in central Italy, 4.0, 4.1 struck down in Sicily, 4.3, 4.5 struck in West Greece yesterday. All right, does that make more sense? A 4.5 down in Greece, followed by a 4.1 in central Italy, and a 4.1 up in France? Yeah, that's a little bit more like it. Okay, so all in all, when we take a look at this activity, take a look at it over the past couple days, guys. Look what struck down in Greece and Turkey. Multiple 4.0 earthquakes. Those multiple 4.0 earthquakes were followed by multiple 4.0 earthquakes. Is anybody shocked? I'm not. Okay, so let's go look at the other earthquakes that struck since yesterday. Now, last night, there was a series of 4s that struck in Mongolia and in western China. Well, those 4s led to new 4s today across Iran, also going west all the way into Turkey, topping out at 4.5 at Crete. Well, this pretty much fits right with what we were talking about. We were talking about looking for a 4.9. Well, 4.5, 4.9, definitely within that range. We are considering the 4.5 here, the fulfillment of, the 4.5, the fulfillment of yesterday's forecast. So take a look in the last 3 days, what's happened here in the Mideast and going up into Italy. I mean, do you notice anything? All these 4s in the past week. Here's the last 7 days. 4.0 and greater. Yeah, there's a huge increase, and it's going right along the plate boundary. Why is that happening? 2 5s hit back in Nepal. A 5.4 pushed the first round of 4s, and a 5.2 pushed the second round of 4s. Now we have 2 more 4s that are going to push another round of 4s. How about that? So, within the next 24 to 48 hours, tops, we're going to be seeing again another mid-range 4, like 4.4, maybe 4.3, just a little bit less than this 4.5, and it's going to strike back in central Italy. Additionally, UK, you need to be on watch. I told you a couple days ago, or a day and a half ago, well, now it's really go time. 4.1 down to the south in France means the potential for 2.0 activity up to 3, but more like upper 2 in UK by the end of, let's say, Monday to Tuesday night at the latest. So how about that? We go from quiet to a 6.0. I told you last night that silence is a sign of a building larger earthquake coming, that we're not going to just see silence and then just have it creep back up into a couple different small earthquakes. It actually went from silence to, boom, 6. Then we saw movement hit elsewhere. How about that? United States. Yeah, 2 earthquakes. Similar in size. Look at this. 2.9 off the West Coast, 2.7 Midwest, back to back, within hours of each other. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means, again, we see pressure transfer. When I say back to back, it was actually within a 24-hour period. Yeah. So have a plan. Be prepared just in case. Because the way things are developing out now, it was very, very strange last night. My update last night was like, don't know what to tell you, because the whole thing had gone quiet. Nothing to base it on. So we had nothing to base this 6.0 on up in Alaska. So, yeah, there we go. That's what we got. So I'm drinking my coffee, watching what's happening. Very rare earthquake in France, following the 4.1s yesterday in Italy. Oh boy, oh boy. And that follows the rare hidden earthquake down in South Italy. It supposedly didn't happen. But now the plate boundary has moved all the way up to the north-northwest and is pushing the entire plate of Europe. Yes, the entire European plate is being displaced right now. Why? Well, guys, we have to go back a few days. There was this mystery 5.1 that was detected in Foggia right along the plate boundary, and everybody kind of went into denial mode. They're like, oh, I know it's on the seismologist page, or not everybody, but a lot of people. Oh, I know it's on the seismologist page, but it just must not have happened. Nobody felt it. And I'm like, okay, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it, does it make any sound? Of course it does. It just means nobody's there to hear it. Well, the same thing with an earthquake. Just because nobody feels it doesn't mean the earthquake didn't happen. It means some other reason played into why the earthquake wasn't felt. And then I went and looked at the area, found out that it happened right along the plate boundary, and made the assumption, that I believe is the correct assumption now, that the plate boundary went into flux. That's what caused the explosion at the refinery up between Milan and Torino. It's why they lied about the location of the explosion between Milan and Torino and tried to say it was north of Milan instead of west of Milan, southwest of Milan, because that's where the plate boundary is. Now, since then, now that the plate boundary has moved, the mountain range has moved. And that's how you get a France-Switzerland border region 4.1. Oh yeah, France-Switzerland border. What else is at the France-Switzerland border? Anybody know? Anybody got a good idea of what's at the France-Switzerland border? Anybody? CERN, guys. CERN is at the France-Switzerland border. Now, not right there, but it's close enough. France-Switzerland border, and now here we have a Ford at the France-Switzerland border. They're connected, guys. CERN is definitely connected to some of these earthquakes. Not only there, but overseas. That there's deep earthquakes that keep happening when CERN does certain experiments and beam drops. When they drop that power to ground and it goes down to the core of the earth. So ultimately, we are watching for a redevelopment of a new pattern. Since yesterday was a flop and we're watching for it, it went completely silent for a full day. That pretty much makes us have to look at the map all day today to determine our new silent zones. This is like a reset button has been hit with that, again, those lack of earthquakes last night lets us know something was building. That's a 6 up in Alaska. It's been a while since Alaska's been hit by a 6. That's not all there's going to be. There's going to be others. No doubt about it. Now, one thing you will notice in the last 48 hours, look what there has not been. There has not been a new round of deep earthquakes, very deep earthquakes. These are only like 100 kilometers deep, which isn't that deep. But, I mean, we're talking, you know, there haven't been any. Now, somebody sent me something yesterday about a 700-kilometer deep earthquake in Turkey. 750-kilometer deep Turkey earthquake. I didn't see that. Didn't make the feeds. I don't know what the deal is with that. That's just the comment that I saw in chat. If there was a 750-kilometer deep earthquake, that would be the deepest earthquake I've ever heard of. It would be the deepest earthquake ever reported, at least in the last 7 years. So, you know, maybe I need to go just take a quick look and see if I can find this 700 kilometer deep earthquake. Oh boy, you know, trying to find it though is going to be a little difficult since there's hundreds of earthquakes to search through while I'm here on the live stream. But if anybody's got a list of it, or if anybody has a link to it. All right, now I'm looking really quick. Somebody just told me it was on page 10, the deep earthquake. 600 kilometer deep. Maybe I just missed it there. There it is. Central Turkey, 750 kilometer deep. Let's see what's going on here. Oh boy, oh boy. What magnitude was this? 3.7? Well, it means it could cause a 4.7 to 5.7. This was on the 30th. So 2 to 3 days ago. Oh wait, it did. It did. There was a 4.5, two 4.5s. Oh look, and a 4.6. So a 4.5 and a 4.6. A 3.7 can cause a shallow 4.7 to 5.7. And that's exactly what it did. It caused a 4.5 and a 4.6. That adds up to 4.65 or 4.7. There it is. All right. So the deep earthquake did cause a shallower, larger earthquake. I just didn't catch it on the... Again, this is proof that the deep earthquake happened because Turkey was struck by a 750 kilometer 3.6. Then a 4.6, 4.7 follows that up. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Well, the seismologist page, I'm done reporting on it. You have to understand how hard I got attacked for just trying to tell people what hit in Italy. Like, I got attacked in the Italian room. All kinds of people came against me. It was just, and that was just for me showing the dang freaking seismologist page. Dutch is wrong. Dutch is wrong. And I'm like, Dutch is wrong? What are you talking about? I'm showing you. I'm showing you the seismologist page. It's not Dutch is wrong. You believe 10 stations are wrong. You believe that no earthquake happened. You believe the follow-up earthquakes are nothing. Whatever. Whatever. Okay, so here we are. We're back. Oh, Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area. This is near Santa Barbara. Look at this. Here's Santa Barbara. Here's Ventura. Wow. Well, that's right off the coast. I mean, it's right interior. Now we got our pumping operations back to the west. Do we have anything here? I haven't ever looked at this location. Glendora. What do we got? Some oil pumps here that we need to know about? Probably. We've got a quarry nearby. Usually where they're quarrying, they're also doing some pumping because they can. Because they've already destroyed the land that the environmentalism doesn't apply in California around these pumping operations. Isn't that funny? All the people from California who are like total environmentalists and stuff, but then you got stuff like this going on down here. Take a look. Look at Santa Barbara going into, we got our offshore oil platforms, which in themselves are dangerous. Leaking oil out here onto the, well, I've done past videos on this. Some of these oil platforms actually show leaking oil coming out of them and flowing away out to the ocean. Now, I don't know which one it was. I'll have to go back and take a look here. One of them is. Maybe it was the one up here to the northwest. Enough so that the flowing oil off there was disgusting. And people were saying, what? There's leaking oil here. What? How could they have leaking oil and nobody noticed? I said, well, guys, there is something going on here. This has been changed. The pictures have been changed. Doesn't show the leaking oil anymore. You guys remember, it was just a couple weeks ago we showed it. Now the pictures have been updated to not show the leaking oil. Oh well, whatever. Here on land, going right down to the ocean shore, we have oil pumping operations. And this is no exaggeration. We've got oil wells at every one of these pads. And these go all the way over to the east. So everywhere where you see one of these little pads in the mountains is a different oil well. Okay, you see that? It goes right up to the ocean. It just keeps going and going and going and going for miles and miles and miles. Well, look which direction it's heading over towards. Santa Paula, right? Then we get over to our second oil pumping operation, oil wells and frac wells. Again, more of the same. Every one of these little pads here is a different oil well or gas well, depending on what they're extracting. And we go further over to the east, and that picks right into where our earthquake struck for the day down in Los Angeles. All right, so have a plan. Be prepared just in case. You may never have to use the plan, but we were talking about this last night, that LA hadn't shown any movement, and it's going to show movement, and it should go upwards into the 3 to 4.0 range. Now, will that happen? I don't know. The whole forecast flopped yesterday. Not the whole forecast, but most of it. Italy flopped. Well, I'm sorry, Italy didn't flop. The rest of the areas did. So, you know, and Big Solar. Big Solar flopped too, same time. 2 belly flops, same day. What are the chances? All right. All right. I'll be quiet on that. So, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. 6.0 struck up in Alaska. 5.5 struck next to our deep earthquake locations from yesterday or the day before. Italy swarming as expected. It's going to increase. We're going to see things return back in central Italy with another 4. Let's see. It's going to be a 4 point. Well, it should be in the 4.5 to 6 range now. Should be about a mid-range 4. Why? Well, we have other 4.5s to the south. We have 4s backing that up. We had a 4.6, 4.7 last night. And between the 4.6, 4.7, 4s and 4.5, that's going to be pushing in on Italy. Central Italy, swarm location, mid-range 4, next 48 hours. Yeah. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Not doing good, not doing bad, just doing okay. Minorly, slightly annoyed by the state of affairs here. I can't do anything about it except for tell you the State of the Union here is real bad. Real bad. Like epic fail bad. Like, I don't know what the hell to do bad. Like, oh my God, the only freaking hope I have is begging for money to survive bad. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being pessimistic. Oh, all right. Let's turn this stuff back off. Let's get a display capture back on. All right. So, oh yeah, he isn't my competition, man. The guy isn't my competition at all. He's not competing. He's a follower. He's a mine. So, oh, all right, guys. I'll be back if anything else goes down. Keep watching the silent zones. Those are the spots to be hit next. That's something that I stand by regardless of the forecast. That, again, our silent zones are the spots to be hit. While I missed on the magnitude, I'm really bummed out by this. I really am bothered by it. I was looking for a large earthquake to strike here, and instead a 5 hit. It had been weeks since anything hit there. But I was looking for something greater than a 5. And I'm all butthurt about it. Because I'm trying to figure out why the hell it happened that way. Why the hell didn't it develop? Man, it makes me look bad. It makes my viewers look bad who shared it. So I'm curious, what happened here? A swarm of deep earthquakes struck. It didn't hit. New Zealand went quiet too? Really? Really? Because I just don't buy that things go quiet without some cause or reason behind it. It's just the way I am. I've got an analytical nature to myself. I want to know, well, gee, if it's been quiet, why hasn't it been hit? Wait a second. Hold on. Is that right? Oh, that's from the start of this week. I was like, wait a second, it shows 2 5s in New Zealand right now. But that's from the start of this week. That's from 7 days ago. Okay, all right. Again, that's funny. All right. Okay, so in New Zealand, I mean, take these 5s off the map. Take a look at it, guys. There's like next to nothing down there. Just a few 2s along the plate boundary. 1 3 at Taupo, and that's right inside of Taupo Lake. People are talking about Taupo. It's a super volcano, by the way. There, 3.2, right in the middle of it. But it's not going to erupt. It's just a sign of that pressure that was to the north. But since then, nothing. Nothing worthy of noting, and that's not good. That's not good. Normally you'd see some noteworthy earthquakes down here. Same with to the west, nothing. And that's weird. We would normally expect to see some activity. All right, so I'm watching like a hawk, and you guys should too. Definitely keep an eye on the silent zones, and the silent zones are the spots you see where are lacking earthquake. Oh, well, hey, hold on a second. Look at this, guys. Now, oh my God, what are the chances of this? Last night, we were talking about how there hadn't been any deep earthquakes at all in California in years, in the 7 years I've been watching. Now, all of a sudden, out of the blue, this 2.4 is a deep earthquake. The first one in 7 years, 120 kilometers below Los Angeles. I'm telling you, that one ain't real.